And then what did you make of Sophie Cunningham's flagrant foul on JC towards the end?
It was a flagrant foul.
You think it's like defending Caitlin or defending the team, or how do you view just how it all?
I view it as a flagrant foul.
That's about the game too.
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys came for basketball.
Yeah,
Let's talk
seriously.
about basketball. Come on now.
What do you think of just how you all were able to pull away in the second half, Caitlin in
We're
particular?
going to the Commissioner Cup Championship.
Let's
That's
go!
pretty exciting. Y'all want to talk about that? Let's talk about that.
What do you think, again, in the second half?
Caitlin's headed to the Commissioner's Cup Championship. Now that's something to get hyped about. Want to dive into it? Let's go. But imagine this. What if Caitlin Clark decides to step away from the WNBA after just one season? Yeah, seriously. Hang up the jersey, knock down one final three-pointer, and call it a wrap. Between questionable officiating that feels more like a comedy routine and Marina Mabrey dishing out fouls like it's recess, Clark might be thinking, is this professional basketball or a reality TV spinoff? If there's truth to the chatter, the league could be on the verge of losing its brightest star, faster than a blown whistle on a clean play. So, yeah, maybe grab a snack. This could get interesting.
WNBA record. This is her second season. And you put the numbers together, that's like 10 seasons. That girl did it in 10 seasons. That means she had won a season. Caitlin Clark is... when Caitlin Clark gets to 10 seasons, she's going to have 100 of these. And y'all can't get a girl her roses. Now, I don't like the fact that she be getting woke because she don't want all these lesbians to be mad at it. At the end of the day, is the woman putting in the work, she's putting in the work.
It's become clear fans are reaching their breaking point. They're tired of watching Caitlin Clark get treated like a punching bag in a league still unsure whether it wants to evolve or cling to old ways. For the second straight season, she's been cast as the lead in a non-stop drama, expected to do it all. Share the ball, keep smiling, drive ticket sales, take the hits, and somehow still show grace to her critics. But frustration has turned into outright anger. The Protect Caitlin movement isn't just a hashtag anymore. It's turned into an emotional standoff between passionate supporters and a league that keeps tossing her into the fire like she's expendable.
This is all going according to plan. This is ideal. Caitlin Clark is holding up her end by being awesome and by being a trash-talking jerk on the court. Love it. Her teammates are holding up their end by having her back. The other players in the league are holding up their end by not liking her. Perfect. Couldn't have written a better script. Caitlin is talking trash to this girl's hard fouling her. Her teammate Sophie Cunningham, who got a black belt in Taekwondo at the age of 6, she's like, I will F you guys up. All of it's great, and Caitlin's a killer. 10 out of 10, no.
Let's just say it. Caitlin Clark is the reason the WNBA is dominating headlines right now. Without her, you'd be lucky to catch the league trending outside of a Tuesday night Twitter debate or a nostalgic clip from a decades-old game. Viewership, way up. Jersey sales, off the charts. Tickets, selling out in cities that barely knew they had a franchise. She's not just a player. She's the pulse, the symbol, the long-range lifeline of the league. And what's she getting in return? Questionable calls from refs, ice-cold vibes from some teammates, and enough elbows on the court to make it feel more like a wrestling match than a basketball game.
Caitlin Clark is driving the WNBA insane. It's to the point that she may need to step away from the WNBA, have a billionaire come in that has the money to prove a point, and say, Caitlin, I'll pay you $50 million just to see if the WNBA can make it without you. Let's go create a complete different league and expose the hell out of the WNBA just to embarrass this Angel Reese girl that Jameel Hill just said she could go down as a Michael Jordan of WNBA.
Yeah.
Remember when folks claimed Caitlin Clark was being treated like just any other rookie? Sure, if your idea of a welcome is getting clobbered at midcourt while refs stand around like they've misplaced their glasses in a slapstick cartoon, Clark doesn't need balloons and banners. She needs a bodyguard and maybe a physical therapist. Then there's Marina Mabrey, who decided to finish a late-game possession by throwing a shove that looked more NFL tryout than basketball defense. The hit was so intense, the NBA probably double-checked to see if they'd missed a draft pick. But of course, Caitlin just brushed it off. because at this point, absorbing contact is basically part of her pregame routine. Stretch, shoot, dodge a flying elbow, repeat. And here's where it gets wild. Every time Caitlin so much as exhales near a veteran, people call her entitled. She takes a hard foul. That's just physical play. She shrugs it off. Now she's aloof. Honestly, she could save a puppy during halftime, and someone would still gripe that she should have passed the leash to a teammate. Meanwhile, her fans are out here working overtime like digital EMTs, slowing down every hit, analyzing every frame like it's courtroom evidence, yelling into the algorithm. How is that not a flagrant?
Well, I will say this. When Caitlin Clark was out, they lost 55% of their viewership. So, basically, Caitlin Clark is paying all their salaries.
Pretty much.
I mean, at the end of the day, you can hate her as much as you want, but she's brought in millions of fucking dollars. So you should be kissing her ass.
And that kind of defeated the purpose of Angel Reese's argument of she's like, hey, it's not just Caitlin Clark that is bringing all the viewership to the WNBA. It's like, well, it definitely is. It's like it kind of proved that with the viewership rating being down that she significantly increases viewership with
They try so hard to compare her to Caitlin Clark. They try so hard.
The refs stay quiet, but the league somehow finds its voice when it's time to police wardrobe choices. Meanwhile, player safety gets treated like an afterthought. The whole situation feels upside down. At this point, fans aren't just wondering if Caitlin Clark might stick around. They're openly pleading with her to walk away. Picture this. She signs a major shoe deal, transitions to broadcasting, or heads overseas where the game is respected, the players are protected, and the welcome isn't a flying elbow, but maybe an actual bouquet at the airport in Europe. Basketball is still basketball, not some twisted endurance test to see how much physical and mental, where one star can take before she finally breaks. Right now, it feels like the WNBA is running a full-blown Caitlin Clark content machine, built on chaos, bad officiating, and a complete lack of support. And people have noticed. Fans, journalists, even those who pretend to dislike her are still checking the schedule to see when she hits the court. Why? Because whether they love her or not, everyone knows she's the centerpiece. But no one enjoys watching the star of the show get tripped up episode after episode. Clark's done more to elevate the league in 2 seasons than some franchises have done in 20 years. Yet she's treated like a guest instead of the main event. Even the promos are clunky. Come see Caitlin Clark and the rest. It's like she's Beyoncé, and everyone else is trying to remember which Destiny's Child member they're supposed to be. No disrespect, just the reality.
The fever and sun hold a brawl and a basketball game breaks out. This was something. Caitlin Clark, without question, gets raked across the face. I think she gets poked in the eye, but it's difficult to tell.
If you're the Indiana Fever, you cannot stand by and let that happen. They need to make it clear to the officials. If you're going to let this happen, then we're going to stand up for our player and make a mess of the game, and you're going to have a big mess on your hands. So you need to stand up for this. You need to do something about this.
You've just learned with definitive data and beyond question that Caitlin Clark controls more than half the audience for the entire WNBA.
And then there's the gaslighting. It's not that serious. She's overreacting. She hasn't earned it yet. Really? Because by now, Caitlin Clark's earned more stripes than a barcode on a zebra. She's dropping 25 points, dishing out 8 assists, and navigating about a dozen microaggressions per game, and doing it all while somehow keeping her composure. What more do people want? Telekinesis. Fans aren't blind. They see the double standards loud and clear. One group gets red carpets and media cover-ups. The other gets scapegoated and sidelined. From scripted pressers to weird locker room dynamics, it's exhausting, and people are over it. They're tired of watching Caitlin fight for respect on a team she practically put on the national radar. Tired of seeing her snubbed in all-star voting like it's some petty popularity contest. Tired of pretending any of this is normal. If she walks after the season, it won't be because she couldn't hang. It'll be because she's smart enough to recognize when the game off the court is rigged. And let's be real, leaving might just be the boldest chess move out there. The league that built its promo reel around her would suddenly have to face the silence. Empty seats, fewer streams, and casual viewers with no reason to stick around. And oh more, tune in to see Caitlin. Just tune out.
A lot of us were expecting some sort of dip since Caitlin Clark has been out with injury, but I don't think all of us were expecting the entire viewership of the entire WNBA to be down. And this tweet from Christine Brennan really stuck out to me. She said one player gets injured and more than half the TV audience for the entire league disappears. Has any other athlete ever had that kind of impact on a sport? Golf without Tiger definitely dropped precipitously on occasion, but not like this. This news is alarming for the league, and it's alarming for the league because this is such a crucial year for the WNBA.
So, what happens if Caitlin Clark decides she's had enough? The league scrambles, rolls out bobbleheads, slaps motivational quotes on the hardwood, offers 2-for-1 ticket deals, and crosses its fingers that people forget. Spoiler, they won't. The moment Clark walks away, the WNBA risks fading back into the background, reduced to a trivia question. Remember that league that had that phenom for a minute? Whatever happened to that? And please, spare us the "she should stick it out" takes. She already has. She's endured media spin, physical play that borders on reckless, refs who seem to need new glasses, and opponents more focused on undermining her rise than actually playing to win. Some point. This isn't about toughness, it's about self-respect. And what's truly baffling? The league's failure to seize the moment. Caitlin Clark isn't just a top-tier athlete. She's a generational talent with mass appeal, business potential, and the rare ability to stay grounded despite being treated like a punching bag with a ponytail. This should be a no-brainer. She deserves the red carpet, not cold shoulders. Major endorsement deals, cutting-edge marketing, smart branding. Yet the rollout feels like something out of a dusty desktop in 2003 instead. More jabs, more snubs, more missed chances. Fans have reached a boiling point. They're not just watching the games, they're watching out for her. Clipping plays, calling out the nonsense, acting like unpaid interns in a one-woman PR campaign. And if she decides to walk away after the season, she won't be walking alone. She'll take millions with her. Viewers who tune in, show up, rep the merch, and cheer like their lives depend on every three-pointer she takes.
I am sick and tired of the way they are treating my girl, Caitlin Clark. I am here to propose a solution. I think they need an enforcer. You know, someone who comes off the bench to kind of lay the smackdown on an opposing team member. I want to get the word out to the Indiana Fever that I am available. I'm ready to identify as whatever I need to in order to get the job. They need someone like me. Why? Because I'm not afraid of any 6-foot-tall lesbian. I work out. Now, I have a couple of real good go-to moves in my bag of tricks.
If the WNBA really wants to keep Caitlin Clark, they need to start showing it, because right now it's giving major ungrateful roommate vibes. Fans? They're already ready to pack her bags, drive her to the airport, and cheer as she boards a flight to anywhere that actually values true greatness. A league desperate for star power. Caitlin Clark was the main course. But if all she's getting back are crumbs and chaos, don't be surprised when she decides she's done feasting. Just when you think things couldn't get any more ridiculous, here comes the cherry on top of this blazing disaster. ESPN think pieces twisting themselves into pretzels trying to argue that Caitlin getting shoved, like she owed Marina Mabrey lunch money, was somehow her own fault. Yes, seriously. Apparently, having the nerve to trash talk in a pro league now justifies being thrown across the court like a rag doll. Forget the shove itself. Forget that Caitlin didn't retaliate, didn't throw a punch, didn't even flinch. She just brushed it off, queen-level composure intact, focused on the game. Meanwhile, ESPN commentators don their detective hats, acting like they've cracked some kind of code, because apparently, a smirk after a deep three-pointer means she asked to be body-slammed between possessions.
Oh, is this shit I don't like? A snitch, nigga, it's this shit I don't like. Oh,
you know, they get into it a bit here. Lexi Holdown gets it.
Oh, bitch, nigga.
Holden's face, Caitlin Clark hits the deck.
Sneak decides that's that shit I don't like.
Sheldon and Cunningham are getting into it.
A snitch, nigga, that's that shit I don't like.
Caitlin Clark with a few words with JC shot.
Here's a crazy thought. Maybe, just maybe, trash talk is part of the game. Newsflash, this is sports, not a polite Sunday brunch. If you're not chirping, you're not really competing. Michael Jordan thrived on it. Kobe lived for it. Larry Bird practically wrote the book on mind games. But Caitlin Clark? Oh no. When she talks trash, suddenly it's an open invite for other players to ditch basketball and channel their inner MMA fighters. Even some of her rivals, players who'd love nothing more than to shut her down on the court, have stepped up and said, yeah, that shove was way out of line. These aren't teammates or fans. They're competitors who have gone toe-to-toe with her and still know the difference between tough, competitive basketball and straight-up dirty play. And yet, somehow, they're more level-headed than half the analysts who get paid to act like they've ever picked up a basketball. Let's be real. If Caitlin had even thought about shoving back, you'd have seen it on every sports highlight, news headline, and probably some Lifetime special. Out of control rookie finally. Snaps, but nope. She stayed composed. She kept it classy. Didn't get personal. Didn't take the bait. And still, they find a way to blame her for being pushed. It's like blaming your mailbox for getting hit by a careless driver. Well, it was just standing there a little too confidently on the curb.
Caitlin Clark has decided to quit the WNBA and move on and go play over in Europe. I do not blame her. I applaud it. I say do it. Get as far away from the WNBA as you can. Let that league sink. Okay? Do not help them, Caitlin. Get away. I believe you could create your own league. Okay? You could be the fucking player that creates whatever, the next professional women's basketball league. Let this one just go and let Caitlin try to build the next WNBA.
The mental gymnastics on display here could easily take home an Olympic gold medal. She's too confident, they say. She plays with attitude. Well, every elite athlete in history has, because that's what makes them great. But Caitlin's confidence? Somehow, that's a problem. In this bizarre, upside-down version of WNBA rules, she's expected to absorb hits, accept blame, and stay silent. All at once. It's almost impressive how the blame keeps bouncing back to her, like some invisible committee is sitting around, rewriting reality as it suits them. Marina Mabrey throws a full-body shove. Caitlin stays composed. Suddenly, she's the villain. What's next? Someone elbows her in the face, and ESPN runs a segment titled, "Did Caitlin lean into it?" You can almost hear them brainstorming their next hot take. Was her posture aggressive? Did her shoelaces send the wrong message? Meanwhile, Mabrey's getting more protection than a Fabergé egg. People bending over backward to justify her actions like she's a misunderstood poet instead of an adult who just took down a fellow player. And it's not just the analysts, it's the whole vibe. The passive-aggressive headlines, the lukewarm takes that sound less like analysis and more like PR scripts written by someone who once glanced at a basketball and screamed.
I want to get your opinion because it's been a minute on this Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark stuff that's been going on. Brittany Griner a couple of weeks ago in a video says trash effing white girl when she was playing Caitlin Clark. What's your just kind of 30,000-foot view of this?
There is not an organization more dedicated and committed to self-imploding than the WNBA. The WNBA was like handed the golden egg that is Caitlin Clark. Yeah. And they have done everything to just self-destruct. Yeah. Whether it's these totally crazy, like, racial investigations that have been proven a hoax.
And here's what really has fans fired up. Caitlin Clark hasn't even asked for special treatment. No press tours, no public complaints, no shade thrown. She just shows up game after game, hit after hit, handling it all like the consummate professional she is. Meanwhile, everyone else twists the story into some drama-filled soap opera where the villain is the woman putting up 25 points a night and literally keeping the league relevant. Here's the simple truth. If Caitlin had shoved back, she'd be out, ejected, suspended, and dragged through the media circus as the league's problem. But because she took the hit and didn't flare up, somehow she still ends up painted as the issue. Because, apparently, it's unacceptable to not grin while being manhandled on center court. Fans aren't fooled. They see the double standards piling up like cheap sets on a reality show. One set of rules for Caitlin, and a whole different playbook for everyone else. The star who drives revenue, ratings, and buzz yet somehow doesn't get the protection she deserves, and still, she keeps playing. She keeps showing up. It's enough to make your blood boil and your head spin. The league has a generational talent right in front of them. A player who brings in fans, sells jerseys, and inspires the future. And instead, they treat her like the official punching bag.